All right. Now I know I probably look tired, and that's because I am tired, man. I just woke up, but I've got life advice out the gate because listen, I know there's all these like self-help YouTube channels that will tell you to not leave your phone in the same room that you sleep, right? They'll tell you to charge it in a separate room so that when you're going to bed, you don't look at your phone. You actually start producing melatonin because that light is just not good for producing melatonin. But also when you wake up, you're not immediately checking your phone because it's so easy to just roll over, pick up your phone, and then sit and stare at, I don't know, whatever, for like 30 minutes to an hour instead of just getting up, right? When the phone is in the next room, especially if you put an alarm on it, you're basically forced to get up and go away. Now, why am I bringing this up? I'll tell you why. Because of Twitter. For some reason, when I wake up and I immediately open that app, it only takes like 5 minutes for me to come across something that is clearly meant to just like make people argue. Like it is wild. The For You page is just like, it knows exactly what you are going to get, I guess, mad at. And I guess I'm not super mad at this because I can at least see where both sides are potentially coming. But here's the thing, right? Let me explain. So there's this video. It was posted, and this DoorDasher was I have it pulled up right now, but I'm not going to open it on the screen. But this DoorDasher was refusing to deliver alcohol to an already drunk customer. Was she wrong? Now, I have ordered alcohol through DoorDash before. Now, I didn't do it after, like, I had had a drink or two, but I wasn't drunk. I wasn't even buzzed. So you wouldn't have been able to even tell that I'd been drinking at all. You know, it's not like you could really smell it on my breath. It's not like I'm slurring my speech. But I've ordered alcohol on DoorDash before because I am maybe a little bit of an alcoholic. I like my bourbon. I would always recommend you go and you pick up your alcohol. Of course, you can't do that when you're drunk. So what's even the point? But it's always way more expensive to DoorDash. DoorDash is just like needlessly expensive for no reason. I'm not even talking about the tips. The prices of everything are up. Then there's like a delivery charge unless you pay a monthly fee and then you tip. Because I'm one of the people that I can't just not tip. Even if it's like, well, the food's already expensive enough. I'm only going to tip $1. Like I actually want my stuff to show up. So I tip, you know what I mean? But there's a basic rule for alcohol that if it appears that you're too drunk when they show up, like if they can smell it on your breath, you're slurring your speech or whatever, they will not give you your alcohol. And I believe you get a refund. I don't know the exact, I'd imagine you get a refund because they don't give you a product, but it's like when you order alcohol, it's one of the first things they tell you. They let you know, hey, just saying, if we pull up and it's clear that you, first off, you have to have your ID because they scan it. But if they scan your ID or whatever, and it's clear that you're just like super drunk, they will not serve the alcohol to you for liability reasons. It's just like basic 101 stuff. But interestingly enough, right, they post this video, and I would just like to say that they referred to the two people involved as Tyrone and Karen. So I'm sure you can imagine who the black guy is and who the white woman is. It's interesting the way they've classified these two people here. Now, the Karen in this question is the DoorDash driver. She's going to deliver this alcohol. She notices that the guy seems to be a little drunk, and he obviously is drunk because he just like grabs her, like she refuses service, and she grabs her by her jacket or whatever, and like, hey, not exactly a good look. But what's amazing to me is how many people are like, yeah, she's definitely in the wrong. Just give the man his alcohol. Here's the thing, right? I know this is going to seem hypocritical because I unfortunately really like to drink, but I cannot fucking stand people whose alcohol consumption negatively affects other people in very annoying ways. You know what I mean? Some people are not good with alcohol because once they realize they can't get a little more, they start grabbing people by the fucking neck. You know what I'm saying? They start acting a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? Those are the kinds of people that probably shouldn't be drinking in the fucking first place. If I'm drinking and a bartender cuts me off, I'm not going to then reach across the counter and try to fucking strangle them because I'm a grown-ass adult who can drink alcohol without turning into a fucking nuisance to the local community. You understand what I'm saying here? Now, unfortunately, because this is a black man and a white woman, this has turned into a fucking race debate, as I don't know, all of these conversations do, and it's extremely annoying. I would like to see the script flipped because this is Twitter, and if this was a flip script, I see, like, I don't know if they would they be saying the DoorDasher Tyrone and the food the customer Karen or something like that, they would for sure still be calling her a Karen if she was not allowed her alcohol. Like, let's be completely honest here. We've seen plenty of videos of white women being I make fun of them for this consistently. White women being drunk in public, being denied any more alcohol, and then throwing a little hissy fit because they can no longer get alcohol. We've seen it. We've called them Karens for many years. So what's the situation here? Well, it's different because it's at his house. Okay, there's still liability involved in this situation. The person delivering this alcohol still potentially has liability for what they're doing. So I'm a little confused, but this is Twitter. You know, if this was Reddit, the comments would be completely flipped. If this was Facebook, everyone would be saying like, she should have pulled out a gun or something. You know what I'm saying? Because Facebook is filled with boomers and you know, there's a little tinge of racism over on Facebook would have been calling for the death of this man, even though let's slow our roll here. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and ignore the fact that other social media sites aren't annoying, but Twitter tends to take the side of like, who cares, just do whatever, to like a very annoying degree. Like the idea of telling somebody no is just not. It's not going to happen for them. You try to tell somebody no on Twitter, they're going to lose their mind. But let me just see here, because I'm just going to scroll through some of the. Oh my God, it's one of those accounts that once they get any sort of traction, they post like a billion videos underneath trying to get more traction in other ways. Somebody said, "I'll leave this right here," and it's a picture of alcohol delivery. It says, while on Dash, you may see orders containing alcoholic beverages, and the following information is intended to help you lawfully deliver alcohol with DoorDash. Notice how it says lawfully there. Notice how it says lawfully. No, did you notice how it says lawfully there? There's like a liability there that you probably want to cover up, but whatever. I mean, I could, you know what? Look, I don't really want to sit here and go through all this. This is on the post. I didn't really want to show the post too much, but you get the idea. But it says, you could be held liable if you deliver alcohol to a minor or someone who is visibly intoxicated, or if you leave the alcohol unattended. So it's important that you know what to do to protect yourself and the consumer. You must check the recipient's identity by following instructions on the Dasher app. Dashers cannot consume alcohol prior, blah, 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 blah. Dashers must be of legal drinking age and valid government ID. This is serious business. You may be held criminally liable if you provide alcohol to a person who is underage or intoxicated, or you leave alcohol unintended. And then there's people who are like, but nobody enforces this. But you probably should. If you're delivering for DoorDash, I know you probably live in this world where you're like, nobody snitches. If I deliver alcohol and something crazy happens, it's like, where'd this alcohol come from? Like, I know you think like in a perfect world, nothing bad will ever happen. But the moment something bad does happen, and the family starts going, why did a DoorDash driver deliver alcohol to my son when he was clearly already drunk? Ooh, good luck with the lawsuit, man. I know that you think we live in a no snitch society, but when money becomes involved and somebody dies or somebody's seriously injured, you'd be surprised how quickly that whole no snitch society will completely blow out. Just get thrown out the window. You're the Dasher, not my mom. Very funny, very funny. You are a grown child. You know what I'm saying? You are just incapable of being told no. You're being told by another grown adult who is doing their job, hey, I see that you're clearly intoxicated at this point. I do not want to deliver this alcohol because I will be held liable if anything bad happens. And you're like, no, give me my alcohol. I'm telling you, these are the kinds of drinkers that I absolutely fucking hate. You are the actual alcoholics. You're not just like casually enjoying drinking. You are throwing little fits if you can't continue to get more drunk. And it's very annoying because, you know, I don't know. You're literally, I hate to make it personal. You are my dad who has never been able to confidently handle his alcohol, gets violent, gets aggressive, makes bad choices. You're my dad when you need to be more like me. You know what I'm saying? Like you just need to know your limits, but also understand like the kind of person you are when you drink. There's some people that are just not good for public drinking. There's some people that are just they'll turn into rock stars. They'll be very sociable. They don't throw up, you know, they don't annoy a lot of people. They don't cause any damage to anything. They don't hurt people. And they don't drive. They make sure they have somebody else that's going to drive for them. They go home. If there's anything that I can say I'm proud of when it comes to, you know, like how I handle things, it would be the way that I handle drinking. because there's never been a period where I've been drunk driving. There's never been a period where I've gotten so drunk I haven't been able to handle myself. I completely embarrass myself in public. Now, there have been times where I've gotten a really bad hangover. Maybe I threw up, the next day. But there's never been one of these situations. You'll never catch a recording of me, I don't know, doing something absolutely super embarrassing, drinking alcohol, because I'm a grown adult that can handle my alcohol. So I don't know. It is what it is. She is a waitress. She is not a waitress at a restaurant. You're a dasher delivering to a house. Give me my shit, says this guy with a big middle finger as his username. Hey man, at the end of the day, she could still get in trouble as if she was a waitress at a restaurant. They're not allowed to deliver alcohol to drunk people. They can be held liable, which is entirely unfair. Which, if you wanted to make this argument, this is the thing, right? If you wanted, if they wanted to make an argument and they said like, it shouldn't be this way, right? If they wanted to say like, well, okay, I understand that she can get in trouble, but she shouldn't get in trouble. It shouldn't be this way. If you wanted to make that argument, then I'd say, well, maybe we're talking here. But no one's trying to make that argument. They're like, just deliver him his alcohol. But if the rules state that she can be held liable for something bad that happens, then naturally you should be a little concerned about something bad happening. If the guy you're pulling up to seems drunk, but also he grabs you, you know what I'm saying? Liable for what? The guy at home? Yes, that this the people looking at this can't possibly seem to comprehend like why it's an issue, an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's at his house. Bad things can still happen at his house. And interestingly enough, once they found out that he was already drunk and he got even more drunk because you provided him alcohol, even though you could clearly see that he was drunk, and now they're going to start asking some questions like, why would you give them alcohol? You'll get fine. Okay, this is a black guy saying this, so of course the comments are good. This is why I hate whenever the race shit is brought up, because it just gets genuinely racist. Like the moment race starts to come up in these conversations, it starts to get like, so what, you'll get violent like your people do? And it's like, oh my fucking God. It's always Twitter too, and it's both ways. Trust me. Like if ever anyone, people always wonder like, how could there be so many like KKK people on Twitter? Like it's because there's just there's racist shit all over the site. I have consistently seen people that seem to be running competitions over who can be the most racist. And one side is convinced they can't be racist because they're talking to a white person, even though they're saying the most heinous shit. And the other side, I mean, they know it's racist. They're talking to a black person and they're saying the most heinous shit. And it's like a competition of who can be the most terrible fucking person over the dumbest shit. But I don't know. You can deliver it to them to get drunk. Can't deliver if they're drinking. He's home. He's not driving. See, this is people starting to ask these questions. I understand. Like, that is strange, right? Because if you went to go deliver and they were drunk and you didn't want to deliver, fine, so be it. But if you delivered because they weren't drunk, but then they got super drunk and something bad happened, are you still held liable? See, these are the questions that you should be asking. These are the things that you should be thinking about, not just deliver him his alcohol. Because right now, currently, it is a rule that they can get in trouble for. They could get fired. They could get in legal trouble. But what we need to do before we all get ourselves in trouble over dumb shit is ask ourselves, wait, why is this a thing? Because some of these people are just like, nah, just give it to them anyways. There's only a few people I see that are asking legitimate questions like, you can't deliver it to them drunk, but you could deliver it to them sober. What if they got drunk? You know what I'm saying? And this person didn't really ask that, but I feel like that is a possibility. You know what I mean? I'm delivering multiple bottles of liquor and multiple 12 packs of beer or whatever to two people. Those two people are probably going to get really messed up if they drink all of it. I guess you're just kind of... Dasher is wrong. Breach of contract. Very funny. It's literally a rule. It would be a breach of contract if they didn't check ID or if they just gave it to a person that was clearly intoxicated when you think about it. Breach of contract, my dick and balls. Do you guys even read things before you because it literally says it when you order it. That's the funny, because I found it, like, I've only ordered from DoorDash. I've only ordered alcohol through DoorDash once. I've ordered DoorDash too many times, way too many times. And I've said this, guys, from the very beginning, don't order DoorDash. Complete waste of money. Go pick up things or cook at home. You know what I'm saying? Don't do DoorDash. But when you order alcohol, it literally says like, hey, just letting you know, if it's clear that, you're not over the age of 21 or you're absolutely wasted, we're not letting you in. We're not letting you in. We're not letting you have your alcohol. But he's home, and didn't he pay for that already? I think she was flirting. Oh my God, it's Twitter, so everyone's got to be a moron. I think he was flirting. He's home, and didn't he pay? But that's the point. You would get a refund. I mean, they obviously would. They would be forced to give you a refund if you didn't get the alcohol, but you just wouldn't get your alcohol that night. She is wrong. Get him his booze so he can stay home and drink it. That is the right place for him to be. I guess, man. Like this is. I mean, y'all are alcoholics, man. Stop trying to police black folks. It's not gonna go how you envision it in your mind. Salute to the brother. I do not want to read the comments on this one. And so I'm not going to click on it because I know it's just going to be somebody posting like some wild ass statistics. But sorry, just looking for something that's maybe not related to race at all. Not to condone the behavior, but isn't the whole purpose to prevent drunk people from driving to buy more alcohol? Give him his drink and know you kept him off the streets. I mean, yeah, that would be nice. If I was just told, right, as a delivery driver, if I wasn't just told, hey, you can be held accountable if you give somebody that's already a little like intoxicated more alcohol, then I probably would just be like, you know what? It's none of my business. But that's the problem. We don't live in that, like, you can't just give people something and something go bad and not kind of expect like there might be some repercussions for it. You know what I mean? Even though it might be their fault. You know what I'm saying? His bottle snatching reaction was too quick for him to be drunk. I wouldn't say that. I don't know if you've met some real true drunks out there. I've seen some drunks that will go at it over some alcohol. Do some of these people not hang out with drunks at all? Some of these drunks get surprisingly agile. He physically assaulted a woman and then slipped on the step while doing it. He's definitely a drunk. I didn't see him slip, but it shall be unlawful for a permittee or his employee or for an ABC store employee to knowingly sell or give alcoholic beverages to any person who is intoxicated. Like, it's obviously a rule, and it makes sense that it's a rule to a certain extent. This is a weird situation because they're getting it delivered to their home. Are they not allowed to drink in their own home, even though they're drunk? It's their own alcohol. But, I mean, that's the problem. That is the problem. If you are the driver, I know you guys want to think about, you want to turn this into race shit. You already went, who's in the wrong here? Tyrone or Karen? Jesus, what are their actual fucking names? I guess I don't need to know their actual fucking names, but it's just so stereotypical, I guess, to pick and normally I laugh at the whole Karen thing, but the Karen and Tyrone thing, it's let's just throw all the stereotypical names out there. And every single comment, or 90% of them, are about race-related shit. You have this potential thing that we need to solve here, but we can't because we're is she being a Karen? Is this racism? And like I said, this shit was flipped. If she was the one that was drunk and was not getting served alcohol and was acting like this, she would for sure be called a Karen. Let's be real here. I've seen plenty of videos with this similar structure where it was, instead of, a guy or a black dude, whatever, in that position, it was a woman, and she acted that way, I need my alcohol. And, she acted embarrassing. She yelled. She, I don't know, grabbed somebody by their neck like this dude basically did. And people were like, oh my God, what a Karen. She can't handle her alcohol. Don't be grabbing people by their fucking neck. What is wrong with you, bruh? And like I said, we could be having this conversation about well, hold on now. I understand the idea that you shouldn't give people that appear to be intoxicated more alcohol. Bartenders won't do this for you. If you go to a liquor store to try to buy liquor, the cashier will not do this for you. So it's obvious that this carries over into delivery, but how strong does it need to be? Is this person legitimately going to be held accountable if something bad happens from delivering this alcohol? What if this guy did do something crazy and they got in trouble? Will we still feel the same way? If it's a rule, but we think it's dumb that it's a rule because he's at home. So what's he going to do? I mean, anyone has the potential to drive after they've been drinking at home, but we're not solving shit here. You know what I mean? To me, if you want to ask me what the right solution is in this particular moment, if she refused the alcohol, it is what it is. If she refused to serve the alcohol, he can complain to DoorDash and say, well, I wasn't all that drunk or whatever. And maybe she'll get in trouble, but maybe she just genuinely feels that he's drunk. Who knows? Right? But in this particular situation, it's usually not the right thing to grab her by her neck. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, come on, bro. She's like, he's like grabbing all up on her. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is like, what are you doing? So that's not the right solution. Grabbing somebody at that moment, the best thing you could have done is just been like, whatever, complain to DoorDash. And then, like, maybe we have a conversation about how relevant this whole liability thing is when it comes to delivering food. Like, if they give you your ID, but you can tell that they're drunk, but it's like you're at your home, you know, you're not in public, you're not gonna have to drive home or any of that. Maybe you work out something. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's nothing in the law that will allow that to ever be a thing. I don't know. But until then, people are still going to potentially be getting in trouble for this shit. So this whole like, no, you have to give me my alcohol. No, they don't, man. No, they don't. And they're not going to get in trouble for not doing it either, especially if you do something like this, especially if it appears that you've been drinking and you grabbed her by the neck. Like I mean, it's basic shit. And it annoys me because, of course, I had to come across this video first on Twitter, which means that all the comments are just racist as shit. You know what I mean? Anytime a black person's like, why didn't she just give it to him? Is it because he's black? All the reply comments are just like, you know, fuck black people and all this shit. And it's annoying. It's like, it's literally the epitome of like, what's wrong with all this dumb race talk in modern society where everything just gets racist as shit. And by the way, there are people that are saying racist shit about white people, but I usually don't get all too worked up about it because I don't know. I just don't give a shit. Like, if you're going to be hateful, be hateful. It's a waste of fucking time, especially if you live in the US. If you're going to be hateful towards somebody because of the color of their skin, regardless of what it may be, white, black, anything in between, you're wasting your fucking time. We live in the USA. This is a fucking melting pot. You think, especially if you live in a big city, you think you can go to the grocery store and not see a bunch of people from all kinds of different races? You better grow up and accept the fact that this is how society is here in the US of A.